Yo, welcome to the KASK podcast, KASK Car Crash. I am Dilum and I'm here with...
And I am Sandra.
How are you doing today, Sandra?
I'm fine. I am very happy that I think in 1 week I start to work in the school. So I'm very happy to go back to the life.
Okay, and you don't have to ask me how I'm doing because today we are joined by a fabulous artist that is also showing work in our show Beauty, which will hopefully happen sometime soon. And that is Florien. Hello, Florien.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good actually. Yes, thank you.
Surviving the quarantine?
Yes, I am.
Working still a lot, I hope?
Yes, I've been painting, but also been working at how do you say it? A garden center, like a supermarket. Oh. Yeah, because I was feeling lonely. So.
Oh, so you went to the supermarket and was like, I want a job application?
Yeah, I was actually looking for a job before the lockdown began, and I found a job, but it was in a klerenwinkel, clothing. Yeah. And so they had to lock down their shop, so I couldn't start. So yeah.
Sandra also had you had a job interview at a cafe.
Yeah.
At a bar.
So actually, they should try me like for a few days and look or I'm good at the restaurant. Mm-hmm. But because of coronavirus. They didn't did that, so they just took me to work. So I'm happy because I don't need to go for a few days to work, for nothing. So.
Okay, great. So yeah, you're a painter.
Yes.
Mostly.
I try to be.
We all. Too real. And you graduated 3 years ago with your MA in Fine Arts. How did you get started in arts, actually?
It was actually a very natural thing to do when I was like 12 years old. They're like asking you, like in Dutch they say CLB. I don't know how you say it in English.
Yeah, like the student council.
Then they come by and like ask everybody, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I want to do arts. So I just went in the secondary school for arts. And then later on, I wanted to do textile design. Mm-hmm. So I went to Ghent, applied for textile design, but it wasn't really up my alley. It was too, how do you say it, strict, I think, too much techniques. I wanted to be more free. And then my second year of textile design, you have like a course you can choose. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You have a keuzevak, and I choose painting. And when I did that, I was like, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to go for painting. Screw textile. Yeah. I just went for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the textile design never worked out.
No, it didn't. No.
And was there maybe something that that you anyway took away from it, or that's still relevant today for your work?
I think still my how do you say it? My love for colors still continues in my work. I think that's the only thing that remains. Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't a wasted year.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't really interesting. I mean, if I never done it, maybe I would be like started in painting and then be like, oh, maybe I should try textile design.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, it's always like all the experience and the history of decoration can be important for the future. It's the same for me. I started with drawing, and then I started with painting.
Cool, interesting.
And now I'm doing installations. Actually, it's like combined with painting and mirrors. So it's very very strange that I do such of things. But I think it should to be important. What do you do before you start to paint?
Mhm. And also interesting is the people I met during textile design. That's also had an influence for my
Yeah.
life. So in the end,
Everything worked out.
Actually, I was during my master in fine arts. I met a lot of directors. So because my boyfriend is director, starting director,
Like movie
he
director.
also movie director. Yeah. So he was study also in Lucca School of Arts. So I met a lot of directors, and we were sitting at cafes or restaurants all the time talking about, I don't know, philosophy or movies or how they actually making movies. And
that's quite interesting.
yeah, so I went. So my boyfriend took me to the set to look how it's going, how they're making movies, and I started to make decorations for movies. So actually, all those things I'm working right now a lot of wood forms. So actually, what I saw it on the set, how they actually built all the rooms. You know, they are really like choosing for colors, and they are like thinking before how is it how it will be for color grading or and so on and so on. So it's really interesting thing. So I think that this was also important for the work that I do right now. Yeah.
Art is a bit of a reflection of your life. I mean, for me at least, I don't know.
Very autobiographical, maybe.
Yeah.
But you studied at KASK. You
Yes.
did your bachelor and your master there?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And you also went to Plymouth University. I saw
Yes.
your
Mhm.
yeah, because Sandra and I went to Lucca in Brussels for our masters. But we're curious how you experienced and perceived art school and how things were going at your school.
So when I went to Ghent, the only two schools that were possible to study textile design was in Ghent. So you had also Lucca in Ghent and you have KASK. But they had a very different approach. So in KASK, you have to learn first the techniques, and in Lucca, it was more about the idea and then the techniques. But I was a bit afraid. I was like, no, I first want to learn the techniques. So I started at KASK, and then I didn't like it.
Why?
So too much, how do you say it? Too bounded, too toegepast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I needed more free spirited. So, and my love for painting was like, how do you say it? Borrelen op. Yeah.
Yeah. It came to the surface. It had to be expressed.
Yeah, it had to come out eventually. So I applied for painting at KASK, and actually liked it because the difference between painting in Lucca, in Ghent, of course, and in KASK is the first year at KASK, you have to paint from real life. So you have to paint still life or models, or so you have to more like dive in the painting technique itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good thing for me because I wasn't really like, I was still painting in acrylics and I wasn't really like doing it properly. And we were forced to paint with oil paints. That was also very good, I think. So I had to learn to paint with oil paints and yeah, getting into painting itself. And then the second year you can like choose what you want to paint. You can finally choose which concepts or ideas or yeah. So
So the first year was very much like learning how to paint. And
yeah. And for me, I needed that in a way. I don't know.
And then the second year, more freedom. What happened there?
So like in the first couple of months, you know, you're still holding on to like still life and making constructions. And then you started to take photographs, and that is like a very strange year, the second year. Really, it was like, I think I throw everything away from that year. It's like a mixture of strange colleges that, oh God, no. No, that was terrible. And then the third year was like, I was completely lost in abstraction. because when you're like with, I think we were well like 14 people in one room, and we're all painting, but you influence each other so much, really, you really do. And then I was like more and more abstraction, and at the end of the year, it was like, what the fuck have I done? It's even strange I got through the year. I mean, and then I went to Plymouth. It was a very good thing because then I was like all alone.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to rethink about what I love about painting and what I wanted to paint. And actually, I started to paint still lifes again, like from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I painted stupid things like a piece of grass I took from the garden. They just took a random piece of, I painted really random stuff. And then I came back and I painted more and more from nature. And that was like my thing to go on. Started to get more into how people influence nature and how nature influenced us. And I was getting more into that. So I graduated with that as a subject for my master year. And then graduating. And then the first year after graduating is always like, everybody's like lost, no? Or at least for me it was.
I think I've put that trauma away, I think. It's
Maybe.
like, that never happened. What are you talking about?
But lost in a way, like you have to be confronted by, oh, I need to get money, I need to pay my rent, I need to pay this, I need to,
applying for jobs.
Yes. Yeah, and then need to explain to somebody, yes, I'm a painter, but I want to do the job. And oh, wow.
Yeah, no one.
It was hard. It was hard.
I think it's so bad in Belgium. Like, I had a lot of like talent agencies that like look for jobs for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to, because I have a bachelor in communication management. And then I always went there and I was like, yeah, I would like a part-time job because I'm also an artist and I'm trying to like balance everything out, but I have to make money. And they were always like, oh, so you're creative. And then I was like, yeah, maybe, but how would you like a job at the airport, like controlling the traffic?
That was the
how? And then I was like, okay, yeah, no one really understood what was like, what I wanted to do. And then if you start talking about like, oh, maybe something in a gallery or a cultural center, they were like, oh, but we don't really have that. And I was like,
yeah, the same.
Yeah, the same. Me too.
It's only they only have jobs for supermarkets or clothing stores or call centers, or it's always the same. Yeah, useless jobs. I don't know.
And they always wanted to focus on like the communication degree I had, and then I was like, no, let's say we close that chapter.
Yeah.
Well, so actually there's a very good job in Belgium. I never know about that job. So it's a bus, how to say that, busbegeleider? It's a bus keeper?
Yeah, a
guideline. Yeah.
So you just
a bus monitor, that's it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bus monitor. So you need to stand up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You go with a bus to get the children's, and at 9 o'clock in the morning you are at home. Then at 4 you do the same, but then you just bring those kids home, and then around 6-7 o'clock you are home. So you get, I think, 1,000 euro per month for this. But you have from 9 till 4 you're free, and from 7 you're also free. So you have a lot of time to create actually, and to do whatever you want. So it's actually quite good for artists.
But you need a driver license. So.
No. You don't drive the bus.
Ah, okay.
You have a driver. You just look that the kids will not fight with each other. Yeah. That's all. So so it's actually,
I can do that.
Yeah.
We both
you can ask.
We both ended up working with kids in the end. Like maybe that's the job for artists, working with kids.
Yeah. So now I'm looking for a job for art teacher because I'm ending my master degree in education. So I'm really like enthusiastic about, like I'm dreaming about, you know, my own class with my own material, and I'm creating with all those kids. Oh my God, this is really a dream.
That's cute. That's nice.
Yeah, it's really.
Sounds
So,
like my
okay.
horror story.
Okay. And you also make collages with Word. How do you perceive them?
Well, I actually started doing that because of a very personal reason. I used to have a diary, but like that's way back. But back in the days, like yeah, how do you say it? My ex-boyfriend now really didn't like it. It was like, why do you write so much? Is that stupid? So I quit. I just literally quit. Like a year after that, I just start randomly doing that. I think I lost my words and I like literally had to find them again. So it was like more like a window for me to speak again. I think that was it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So all those boyfriends take
The
all
one
the
boyfriend,
good
the one.
things from girls. All the good things from girls. Fuck those boyfriends. Oh my God. I'm gonna say that for my boyfriend today. I swear.
I make art of it. So at the end, bad for him.
Of course, yeah.
He gets no credit though.
No.
He gets no name, just like ex-boyfriend. No, that's great. And do you think you found your words again?
I think so. Yes, but actually, like the last, I think half year, I haven't made so many anymore. I think I just needed that, and then in that specific period,
And
because I just made one in like the past 6 months, and it was just about the corona. I think, yeah, just one. So maybe it will turn back again in my practice. I don't know, but yeah. Because I start drawing more, so maybe that's like going up and down a bit.
Did you start a diary again?
No. Yes, strange, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Maybe because I'm feeling better.
You should. I think you should.
You should
really
try it again. The diary. You up there with me.
Okay. Oh, right. You also have a diary.
No. Yeah. I mean, Sandra has to start the diary.
I have a diary because Dilum was very and is also not is very mad on me because of my language, Dutch language. So I'm writing as hell, very bad, really. So because of diary, I'm trying to learn to write better. So.
Okay, that's a good idea. Because my French is terrible, so I should write in French maybe.
Oh yeah. I think I'm really serious. It's really helping because every day you like, but you should every time to read it back. I think you can wait like maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then you read it back. Mm-hmm. And then you started to see what is actually wrong. So
yeah, it's a bit with artworks. When you like put them away for a while, you can like see what it was about or something, like a bit of reflection.
Yeah, that's it. So actually, when I'm writing my diary, I write mostly about my ideas or something like philosophy that I catch by that day or something. And I never write my diary every day. I write my diary when it's something happening, what's really interesting or like strange or something. You know, I don't want to lose those things. So because I'm writing that it's really good for memory. So so you should do it.
Especially during these days. I mean, you get lost of the days and hours, and sometimes I'm like, we're Thursday, we're Friday. Yeah, very weird.
Are we Friday?
We're Friday.
Oh my God. One time I lost 4 days. So it was Tuesday. I thought it's Saturday. So 4 days. How you can lost 4 days? What the fuck? It's really crazy.
But it's nice. It's nice. It's like time traveling. But then.
Yeah.
Did you drink
Oh
too much
my God.
vodka again?
And I also, about
Go
time
ahead.
traveling. So I saw a series. It's called Dark. It's
Oh,
about
that's very good. Very
about
good.
time
What?
traveling. I was just like, oh my God, this is fucking real. Maybe my mom is my daughter. Oh no.
Yeah, does this my fuck or my dad is my son or what? It was yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
end.
insane.
Have you seen season 2? The ending is like, what the fuck?
Season 2, I don't know. The
There's
end.
a season 2
Oh,
of Dark.
so
Yeah.
it wasn't
I need to
like
Google
that girl. She was in love with
With Jonas, I think was his
Yes.
name. Yeah.
So she came back from the future, no?
Something like that, or an alternative future, I think. Like an
Oh, I think
alternative Earth. I don't know.
yes,
Something
yes,
like
yes.
that. That's my theory
So
about.
so
Yeah.
that was the second season or what?
Yeah, that was the second season. Yes.
Oh my God, I thought it was just one. I don't know. I watched
No.
that. I watched that the whole series in 4 days or something. I was from the morning till the evening, like watching. Yeah.
But it's a very good show. I should recommend it to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
very
looking
good.
at like the family tree on Wikipedia from like the series. It looks like a lot of incest going on over there.
That's yes, it is. It's a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
Oh
It
damn!
is. It's
Like, I
really
am
good.
my own grandmother.
Yeah, it's worse than thuis or family, you know, advitium.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Fuck.
Well.
We don't know what goes on over there, so we don't want to get sued. No, but maybe back towards your work. So
Yeah. What's next?
so the collages were kind of getting back in touch with yourself, maybe, or
Yes, it was.
your
It
work?
was. It really was. The getting express my feelings, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
getting out there. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
because in your artist statement, you also talk about like a certain fixation and an inner need to make work.
Yes, true. Like with Wonderland, it was like very specific because my life was quite messy at the time. So creating this series of work based on a book was like something to hold on to, you know. I was like, with every chapter, I knew I'm gonna make a painting about it
Uh-huh.
because all the other things were like so crazy. I mean, I lost, not really lost my job, but I quitted my job. I had to move back home. You know, everything was like falling apart. So that was like a representation of my crazy life at the moment because like, you know, Wonderland isn't really that wonderful. I mean, it's like a very fucked up crazy story.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it was really a good way to just to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended that and now I'm like, I don't know, what I'm making now is like more about being aware of my surroundings, being more conscious about what is happening. And I have like a certain idea in my head, and then I find an image or I mix two images together. So it's more like spontaneously I make images now. So it's more freedom in a way. Yeah.
Maybe you need more less of a.
I don't need the whole to
yeah, you
something
don't need to
anymore.
hold on to the story anymore. You don't
No.
need a fixed point in your life. I think
No.
it's funny that it's like, because it corresponds very well to like your life being chaotic and then and falling apart, and then Alice in Wonderland, which is also like not a great place to be. And then you use that as a hold on to make paintings, which is all very maybe paradoxical, but also I think interesting. And you also used photos from your personal archive for your.
So like from.
Sorry.
Yes, actually I do. During my master year, just to paint from nature, I've been to a lot of walks in forests and nature reservoirs and a lot of walking actually just in nature itself. I took a lot of pictures. So it started from there on. I took more pictures of things I found interesting. So I have like a lot of pictures of my computer, cell phone, and it's very nice because when I have something in my head, like, oh, I want a figure, but also want something green or something like this, I just scroll and then I just oftenly just make it up in my head and then I paint from them. Yeah, it's strange to explain, but that's how it happens.
So could you maybe talk more about, like, because you had the story from Alice and then you had your personal photos, and then did you like get an image when you read a chapter and then look for a photo that corresponded with it, or how did that more work?
Yeah, but like you said, actually, when I read like a certain sentence or something like that, it was like very specifically, there's like this part when Alice is too big for the house. That was the part when I needed to move out of my apartment. And I really took it quite literally. I just took a picture of my arm and then I just imagined like a window is way too small. And I just started with that and I painted my arm on top of it. So sometimes it's so simple like that, you know? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great.
Okay. Yeah. I think, yeah, sometimes, of course, a lot of artists like thinking very deep and like searching for very deep meanings or something. So maybe, yeah, I think it's also interesting to maybe to not to look too deeply or something.
Yeah, it's more like, it was a window for what I was experiencing, I think, at the moment. I think that it still is for me, at least. Sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just something I just, how to say it, fascinated about, you know, the way the light falls down on the water or something. Or sometimes it's like more comforting, or sometimes it's about more my mood at the time, yeah. Or romantic, like you said. One of your questions was like, you thought my paintings were romantic?
Yeah.
So I looked up the word romantic, and then I found the word romantic apparently means strongly appealing to feelings and imagination. So I think I am romantic in that way.
Okay.
I didn't think about it, but maybe I am. Yeah. Some people say it's more cinematic, like it's like it could be like screenshots of a movie or something. But in a way, we grow up with movies and pictures, so it isn't that strange, I think, in a way.
Oh, did you ever thought about how they call shit? It's like a story for directors. They draw just the ideas or the only every shot they will filming. How it calls?
Oh, a
Like a
storyboard.
story, yeah.
Storyboard. That's it.
I've never done it. I don't know how to start the storyboard, but why not?
But maybe your paintings from Wonderland can be read as like a storyboard, because how many chapters are there in Alice in Wonderland? I've never read it.
I think it's 12, I think, if I'm not wrong. Something like that.
Is it a big book?
No, it isn't, no.
Child stories. So why am I thinking that it's like this big novel?
No, it isn't. There are a lot of like, how do you say it, songs in it as well, but I didn't use them. Yeah. It's actually a bit of a Disney, before Disney musical book
Disney
or something.
took it and made something out of it. So now you have 12 paintings of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or Wonderland.
Sometimes I have 2 paintings of the same chapter, but yeah.
Oh, we can cheat. It's fine.
I cheated a bit, yeah.
No, but maybe that's like a storyboard. Like you took the whole story, and now you have this laid out.
That's true. There's a beginning, there's an ending, so yeah, it's a bit of storyboard, yes.
Actually, I was like, imagine, I don't know, all the time when artists talking about their ideas, I start to imagine another ideas, like, what if I was that artist, like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you imagine you're like this sculpture or this movie. Or...
I imagine that so I imagine that I'm in the place of, like, for example, Florien. What if I was Florien? So right now I was like, imagine, what if I I painted a storyboard of not like Alice in Wonderland, but just make my own Alice in Wonderland, like my own story about completely different thing that is the story about the Wonderland, like, and to make a storyboard in the same way you do, because I really I mentioned that you use very much of contrast in your painting. So the white is very flashy and the dark is really dark. So in all those in all those palette and contrast, it would be really nice to do storyboards. Yeah, it's cool.
Like an old school black and white movie.
Yeah,
like the first movie of Frankenstein. I remember something like that. I saw it at KASK. Yeah.
Oh.
Like you have this extreme dark. Yeah. Maybe I've been influenced by movies. Yes.
You're broadening up your practice towards movies and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna send for you the list from my boyfriend. So he has there are movies for attraction, and there are movies like art movies. You know, they're not really like abstract or something, but they are just artistical. So I have a list of very good movies, like artistical movies, and you should go to watch movies in Cinematheque. It's nearby Luca School of Arts.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, they never show the movies like for attraction. I remember the movie you should really see. It's Stalker. Did you ever saw that? Mm-hmm.
No. It's a Belgian movie? No.
Sorry?
It's a Belgian movie or?
No, it's a Russian movie.
Okay.
So
well,
no,
okay.
but it's like with the English titles, I think.
I hope so.
No. There's English title because that movie is very famous. So in that movie, there's so much of nature. It's just crazy. So everything you see is just nature. So
Okay.
it goes about 3 people. They are it's about the end of the world actually, but you don't feel like this when you watch that movie. So you should really
a bit like what we're going through right now.
yeah.
I mean, we don't really see it, or at least I don't. I mean,
yeah.
None of us are, because we're stuck at home.
Yeah.
We can't see the end of the world.
Okay. I'm writing it down, so I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for the tip.
No problem. So I think so. And you also based the paintings on photos from the personal archive. Are those photos took yourself or found?
Nowadays, like recent work, it's like both of them. It's like a mixture. It really is, because I'm more started about an idea or a certain image in my head, and then I need to paint from pictures. I can't paint from imagination. I find it too hard. When I paint from my imagination, you know, it's like, oh, I wanted to paint a tree, but it's like this stupid blob of green. So I really need some actual pictures. So
yeah, you need something to paint from. I
need something real too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never painted. I can't draw figurative. I can't paint figurative. They tried to teach me a little bit at Luca, but they never fully succeeded. So always when people are painting figurative, I'm like, and even without a frame of reference or without a photo or anything, I'm like, how do you do that? Because
without a reference, that's hard. I mean, I can paint something, but it's always vague, you know. I can paint a bit of a model and a bit of nature, but it's always the same. Actually, it's like this archetype you have in your head, and then, but yeah, I still need pictures.
One time, Dilum was in a draw class, like drawing, and so I was watching to Dilum how is he drawing, and I just mentioned that he's not drawing, he's like looking there and there and there after 2 hours or something. So I stand up to look what he was drawing. So I came to him and I saw just a big penis in the whole, I think, A3 or something format of the paper. A big penis, like this is good. This is very very good.
It gives you a certain mood. I mean, yeah.
I couldn't deal with, and we had it on Monday, and it was how Monday was always the worst.
Yeah, I know. Mondays are horrible. I have the same. We had model for painting, and then it was always on Monday, and everybody was way too late, and yeah.
Did you like model drawing?
Yes, very much. I really loved it. Yeah.
Okay,
I hate it. Oh,
But why do you hate it?
Because I always wanted to draw like beautiful bodies, but my counting, like when you count how many heads in in the body, it was never right. So, or my hands were too short or too long, or my foot, I never could draw beautiful foot. So,
so feet are the hardest. I mean, it's I don't draw toes. I mean, it's always like just a shape or perspective, like a suggestion. I mean, it's like drawing hands. That's the same. It's way too small again.
Yeah. Maybe tell about what you are doing right now.
So the last things I painted are like the big drawing I sent to you. The big painting I sent to you with a lot of greenery and that little woman. So that is more a reflection what is going on right now. The painting is called "This is Bigger Than Us." It's about like a lot of things are going on outside, but we have no fucking clue what's going on, or at least I don't. I mean, they're all mixed signals from politicians, people. I mean, I don't know what to do. And also have a lot of paintings. I have one painting with like a figure sitting on a table and a lot of light is coming in one room. And that's more about like, we have to sit in one room, and the person is like just sitting and reflecting. I think that's how I interpret it. It's whole this corona lockdown is like more of a way, I don't know if there's like really a translation for it, but like a bezinning, more like it. If you would translate it, it would be awareness and consciousness, but I don't really think that's the right translation for bezinning. I don't know.
Yeah, it's reflection. Like you think about life and
about my past, what I've been through and where I'm going to, because beginning of 2020 it was like really excited, you know. I was like, I'm gonna get a new job, I'm gonna get my driver license, and I'm gonna have a studio at Tank in Bruges. I finally have a studio, and then the lockdown began, and then I was like, no, I wanted to boost my career, I wanted to get out there with my paintings, and now I'm like, fuck.
I know
nothing's gonna happen anymore. And I'm getting older, and everybody's buying a house around me, and I'm like, you know, just going through it.
Oh my god, the same. Oh my god.
And the baby boom around me, and
that maybe leads like to maybe a very good question, because Sandra and I are also like young starting artists in Belgium. And how do you experience it?
I find it hard, but maybe that's because I don't know.
So you're not alone.
But sometimes some people, you know, like a person like Ben Slendens, like our age, I think, and he's doing so good. I'm like, how the fuck did he do it?
My
I don't know.
our question exactly.
What did you say?
Our question exactly, because I was looking at like your resume and the exhibitions you've done, and I was like, oh, she's really getting out there, and she's really finding like
But
people
it's all in west of Flanders. Didn't you notice? It's always in the same region. It's like I'm not getting out of here.
But I'm not even showing in my own region, so
Okay.
I was quite impressed with. But I know I understand what you're saying. Like also with like certain people really somehow figuring out how to do it, and then you're sitting there like, how do they do that?
Yeah, I have a feeling I've hit like a certain wall or ceiling, or I don't know. I thought maybe I could use Instagram more. That was because in the past I sold some works, but it was always I sold like 4 works, which isn't a lot, but it was always by Instagram.
Oh,
They
really?
always contacted me. Yeah, so apparently that's a good medium to get it out there eventually. So maybe I have to boost it more, I think. I don't know.
Well, I think I'm gonna tell you a secret. I think you have.
You figured out the art world. You sold
No.
3 paintings in Knokke. Let's not like.
Oh, that's 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 big shit.
No, I was thinking. Well, you you paint figurative.
Yeah.
So this is what people really want to see, like nice trees, nice I don't know, sun, or nice nature or something, you know. So people they don't maybe they don't interested in art, what is art, and so on, techniques and so on. So they why I'm talking about that, because my work is very abstract. So all the time when people they just love me, yeah, they like asking, can you, oh, you are a painter, so send me your portfolio. Okay, I send that. And like when I meet those people again, yeah, they like I'm asking, and so what did you think about my art?
Yeah, yeah.
And they like, yeah,
It's special. It's unique.
Yeah, it's
something like
special.
that.
it's quite yeah, maybe beautiful, I don't know, I like the colors and everything, you know. And then I'm like, yeah, they will never buy my work because they don't understand that, you know. Sometimes they even send me messages like, can you actually draw a portrait? And I'm like, yes, I can draw portraits, and I think quite good, because I studied that drawing technique in art college in Ghent. So I can do it, and I also saying I can do it, but I don't want it because I am not like a portrait artist on a beach. I'm not doing that. And they're all the time saying for me, why you don't do that? You just how many time it take to draw a person? I'm like, yeah, I think an hour. So they're always mad on me because they saying you can take money just from that.
Yeah.
All those principles away. Just take the money.
Throw those principles away.
I have the same. Yeah. My dad always told me, but they like those paintings, the ones in blue and vaguely. But I'm like, but Dad, I've done that. I don't want to do it again because it's sellable or something. That's not the point. That's completely not the point. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so like my mom is saying, just put your paintings are amazing. Put those paintings on eBay. And I'm like, no, Mom. If I sell my paintings on eBay, they cost, I think, for 80 euros or something. And my work, like from 1 month work, is worth for $80 or euros. You know, it's just awful. Come on.
It's just shameful. I mean, yeah.
Shameful,
You don't want to like. You want your work has value, so it shouldn't be degraded in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, And I also think if you sell your paintings at eBay, what you're gonna show then in exhibitions?
True.
Your eBay page with like buy my art.
Yeah, buy my art. Oh, we wanted to make T-shirts with buy my art with Dilum and just go around.
Hey, I've never canceled that idea. I might still do it.
Okay, I have paint for textile, so I'm gonna do it.
Oh God.
Okay.
I can do screen printing.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, let's design T-shirts. Oh my God,
Sorry?
Kalacht merchandise, like buy my art T-shirts.
Oh,
We're gonna be
Yes.
rich.
oh my God, that's a good idea. No,
And then
really.
tote bags and everything.
Oh yeah, sell everything. Put it on coffee mugs.
Yeah, and buttons and yeah, stickers and oh god.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so you don't maybe feel really at home in the whole art business world?
It's yeah, how do you say? It had two sides, you know. It's so different when you're like around with people who make art and then the art buyers. It's completely different world, no? I mean, yeah. I'm not really that I can't really sell myself that good actually. I'm like more like, you want to come to my studio, well, like have a round and want to have a coffee, but I can't do the sales pitch. I'm not that kind of person. I'm
the
not.
same. I like, how do you, I always wonder, how do you get yourself out there? Because like you go to gallery openings or you go to shows and exhibitions and then you see all these people who are often there in groups, and then I always find it weird to like go up to those people and be like, hi, I'm Dilum, and what are you doing, and blah blah blah. It just seems weird to me, and then you never get anywhere because I'm afraid to ask those people to like help me, because why would you?
I don't know. I don't have that problem. I can come and just say hello, this is me, but it's not. I don't see it like selling yourself, because I do that not for money, because I know that like if you meet a right person, they take you to a gallery, for example, and then you start to sell. So I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this because I want to show my work and spread the culture. That's all. I don't care about
yeah,
how
but
many.
in the end, you're asking like help from people, or you ask or you expect a certain service. Like, can you show my work? Can you put your time and energy into showing my work? And I don't. Maybe it's like a low self-confidence of like, what do I have those people? What do I have to offer those people?
Yeah, and asking them to support you actually. Yeah.
I find it weird, and that's.
Yeah, but you don't do that like directly. Hi, I'm Sandra. Can you show my work, please? You don't do that.
No, but like those people know why you're coming up to them.
Well, so first of all, I think when I'm coming to people, I never come because this person is a big curator of a big gallery. I come to those people if I know that they are interesting people. You know, when I'm when I'm looking for a good exhibition or even bad exhibition. I'm gonna tell you a story. One time I was going to the bar to work in Hasselt, and I saw actually a good exhibition, but the works were just terrible hanging on. I don't know how they just thought about that, but it was like painting on a painting on a painting on a painting, just everything in one big mess. So I came in and there was a man. I thought it's security. So I was like, hi, can I please ask who hang those paintings on? And he was like, why? And I was like, yeah, I think those paintings are very good. It's avant-garde. And I think like they are full of quality, but they don't have air. They need to breathe. I think I said every painting cannot breathe because everything is just such a mess. You cannot really see what you, to experience that painting, you know. And that man was the curator of that exhibition, and he hanged those works on, and he was like, I like you. So he invited me to work one time in his exhibition. And he came from Hasselt to Brussels to watch our exhibition with Dilum, and he has our portfolios and so on and so on. So I never came to you know, I never come to people to say, oh, you are such a bullshit, or why you do things like this. I want to help. If I know that this is bad or something, I just want to help. That's it. That's all. So if you just interested in such things, never keep it inside. You know, you just go ask for people. Like also one time in Tour and Taxis, you know that?
Yeah.
Or Brussels.
So or Brussels.
So they made an exhibition. I don't really remember how it calls, but it was a big exhibition. So at the postcard was like an exhibition of abstract and contemporary art. Yes. So I'm coming inside, and what I see, only figurative things, nothing to do with abstract, just like flowers, or I don't know, buildings, or I don't know, some like pictures of beautiful women, and so on and so on. And the whole of that area was just full of that. And that is very bad, because on the postcard I was like, really principal thing. If you do an exhibition, just be honest, just write it down, like figurative things from today, I don't know, for example, you know. So I went to the security to ask who is the organizer of that whole show, but they didn't want
to answer.
They didn't answer. They was like, yeah, he's not here, and blah 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 blah. So after all, I actually saw him in that exhibition. So they were hiding, because they asked at me, like, why you need the organization. So I explained the whole that thing. So they didn't want that I would talk with him. So I just let it like it is. But you know, so this is how you can help, and also like deal with your interest. You know, I don't know.
Okay.
So it's not selling. It's not you don't sell yourself. You just like deal with.
You encourage actually to be more involved. That's more the point of it. Yeah.
Yes, so
okay.
I think if you are an artist, you let it be. No, how to say that? Just be an artist everywhere. You don't need to be an artist just in your studio, I think.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, that's a nice point of view. I often change when I'm at my day job. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just working there. I'm not like the artist anymore. But maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you know, you don't should to be artist, like if you work at a mall, yeah, you do your job, it's okay. But if there at a mall, yeah, if there is an opportunity to say something interesting about, I don't know, how to make the glasses, you know, in front of the mall, how to make them interesting. If you think that they are not interesting, you can go to your boss and say, look, I know a better idea how to get more people inside, because of the visuality, you know. So you can use it everywhere, just everywhere. just you need to. I think you need to use that with a good mood. No, or with a good. Yeah.
I need to use my strength maybe more often in day life. Yeah, maybe
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I found it very hard in day life to be like, to use my strengths just, in general. I mean,
Yeah,
or to
you're
find a
so,
job in an artistic way, or yeah.
there are certain aspects that I think you can apply, like as Sandra said, like how can you make a storefront more visually appealing and stuff like that. But if you're working behind as a cashier, like checking people's groceries, you don't really have that much opportunity to
No,
bring your artistic qualities to that job. It's just like,
no,
check
that's what I
people.
realized. Like I said, the past 3 weeks I've been working there, and that was just like payment and then seeing people. There was nothing more about it. It was really like a very flat job, but also interesting to notice how people react about all the corona.
Mhm.
Very different reactions. That's also very interesting to see how people are dealing with it, with the whole situation. And some people just don't care, and other people are like really pissed off. Like one lady was like, why can't I buy this? No, because certain parts you couldn't buy stuff because they weren't essential, like stuff for the barbecue. You couldn't buy it, which is normal, but she was angry about it. She was like, fuck you, you have to close your shop as well, because she had to close her shop. So you have like angry people and people who are thankful, and other people who are like, oh, why are you wearing a mouth mask? Because I was wearing gloves. And so a really funny situation, but interesting as well. So
But
maybe something to use in my painting as well. So maybe my daily life, which is boring, I don't know, in a way, I can use it back in my practice maybe.
Because it's like, I think it's our lives that feed our practice. We can do a lot of artistic research and all that, but it has to come from somewhere. And then I think
true.
jobs outside of the art world are always or might be helpful. I don't say it's ideal, but it might be helpful, because that way we don't lose touch with like real life, and we retain a certain source of inspiration, or we live life instead of looking at life and then trying to translate it. No, but you think it's hard to be an artist right now and starting out and comparing yourself to others who might be doing better?
I have to be honest, I'm sometimes jealous.
No, I'm jealous all the time. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she's getting a gallery show at the new gallery in Brussels, and she already talked about me to the curator and stuff. But then I heard that another one of our classmates, that the curator like looked at his work and found it interesting, and then I was like, damn, it's again not. I'm happy for the person and that he's getting picked up, because he's also like graduated 2 years now and looking to succeed in his chosen field. But then it's like, damn, it's again not me who's apparently fallen, or someone found my work. And then you get frustrated. But I'm going to be honest, I think I looked at your resume and I looked at your work, and I would be jealous of you too, because I've noticed that you've like at least consistently, even if it's only locally, shown your work. You've gotten yourself out there, which I think is really important. And then you also have a studio at Bruges.
Yes, now really recently, like the 1st of March, like right before the lockdown. So luckily I got that.
No, but that's super great news. So
it is.
So how do you think you managed to accomplish all of that?
Well, I hope that having a studio at Tank with other like artists will get me more like get into the scene of Bruges, because I'm like just living here from the 1st of February. So I'm like very new to this. And by getting in there, so I get more involved with the other people. And but now it's quite quiet right now, but that's normal. I think everybody's staying at home, so
normal, of course.
But it's great to hear that you like really found a way to to get in touch more with the art world and
yeah, because it's quite lonely when you don't
Mhm.
if you aren't involved with anything. It's like just you in the bedroom. That's what I had, and it felt quite lonely.
And that's
So
also why Sandra and I are happy that we like have each other and are together at the studio, that we have someone to talk to. And
yeah,
that's also why we started KASK, to like get more in touch with other people and other artists and collaborate and have them show work, so you get to know people instead of like I said, like instead of walking up to people at gallery openings and introducing yourself, now people can come to us and then we can be like,
yeah,
oh, welcome to the show, and we provide like a service for artists, and at the same time we can make connections with people without like forcing ourselves, or at least I think that is a great way to not force yourself upon someone but meet new people.
yeah. You invite them, so it isn't
Yeah.
forced. I mean, yeah, they're welcome. Yeah,
And
it's
then we
good.
have you, and we are so happy that you are part of our show. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because Sandra was actually well, we all had our own artists that we kind of defended, and Sandra was really defending your work. Why, Sandra?
I don't know. Maybe because of that. Look. So there's classical, romantic, figurative works. Yeah. We will start with that. So there are different ways to paint those paintings, and I don't know. Unfortunately, by the work, it's very dark, and there's a person in the woods. You know that? Yeah. How it
It's her
calls that?
work, you know that.
How it calls?
It's a very long title, actually. God damn it. It's something like a long road ahead and something was in front of her, something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's actually a chapter when the white rabbit runs away, and I translated it. It's actually a picture of my dad walking in front of me.
Uh-huh.
That's the way I interpreted it, but yeah.
Yeah. So when I saw your work, I thought, okay, maybe she's classical and maybe she's doing romantic paintings or something. But I really feel like very specific feeling for technique of painting, you know, and also very specific feeling for color because of your huge big contrast you use. I first of all I don't know why, but I thought about Gauguin. Yeah, first of all I thought about Gauguin, and then I thought, okay, this is very, you know, the thing you are showing is very simple, but the way how you show that, because of that contrast, it's not making that simple as it is, you know. So there's just a person in the woods, that's all. But all the darkness there are, and the light it's coming between the trees inside is very intense. So I really liked it.
Yeah, no, well, we both agreed in the end, like on the final artist and who we're going to show. And we had a lot of figurative art or figurative painters that sent in work. And I found that a lot of them were quite literal and stayed on the surface. Like there was someone talking about like environmental issues and how we should live more in touch with animals. So they painted like a chicken, a horse, and two people. And I was like, okay, this is
Okay, yeah.
quite literal, and I'm looking for something more conceptual. And then your work was one of the very few figurative works that had that we felt had a conceptual background, and that there was more to it than just what was, because figurative painting is a very easy tool to make something very literal, but then we felt that in your case it was that there was a deeper layer there, and that it was about yourself, but also about that image and the book, and we felt all of these connections that were very interesting. And then I also felt that like I really enjoyed like the stilling of the moment, and in the image I thought was very beautifully done and had to be included in the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Yeah,
nice to
true.
hear. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've had some feedback in general about my work, or just to talk for a long time, to be honest.
You can always
So,
Zoom us. We're very, we're always glad to talk with artists and people. And
yeah, when I got the question, I was like, oh, they're really going to talk to me. I was like, yeah, really, it was a long time ago. So that's nice. It's nice to hear.
no, you're
Yeah.
always welcome also to come by the studio, especially after Corona and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's also something we want to do, like get in touch with artists and get other artists in touch with each other. We have 22 artists in the show. 22, 23, I always forget.
23,
So,
I think.
so we're hoping that like also at the opening, and that we can maybe do a lunch together and get everybody together and
Yeah,
talk.
it would be nice. I would like to meet some other people, because I know a lot of like people from Ghent and Bruges, but that's quite it.
Yeah.
Not from Brussels or like from Hasselt or Henk. I mean, no,
We'll have to
that's a
do a
shame.
like gallery tour, dinner night, and get everybody there and mix with people. So we
Yeah.
introduce everybody to each other. I think it would be great to have like more connections and meeting interesting people and talking to each other about life and our work.
Yeah, it would be very nice and very helpful, and like feel more connected. I mean, in a way,
Okay.
being an artist is sometimes lonely, no? Or
Yeah.
maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, me also.
And it's
Okay,
also
okay.
about like finding time, because you have your day job and then you're at the studio, and then I always get very tired from everything. And then at the end of the day, it's like, if you don't send me a message, I probably won't send you a message, because I'm like lying in bed, like trying to find the energy to like get a drink.
I understand. And you also want to see your family or friends, and then
Yeah.
it's from one thing to another. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
I'm
we'll,
actually,
we'll make sure to make an appointment to come have a look at your studio and have a talk in real life when we are allowed to do so again.
Yeah, it would be nice. Would be great.
yeah, I would
Cool.
like to. Yeah.
We're following the Corona, because I also want to like figure out when we can open again, because I also had like 2 or 3 projects lined up. We were actually, Sandra and I were going to do a performance like 2 weeks after the quarantine started. So I remember the Wednesday we went to rehearse at the space, and I was talking to the organizer, like, is everything going to be fine? Because this Corona thing is getting really kind of happening. And she was like, oh no, nothing's canceled yet. It's all fine. And then Thursday, the news got out that like the cultural center were closing. And then Friday, I got the email of like, and then Thursday night, it was the press conference from the government. And then Friday, I got the email like everything's canceled. It went so quick, and we saw so many things got lost. Also, KASK, the first exhibition. So I just want to figure out like, when can we open again? We want to do it safe, and I want to be patient, but like also I'm really hoping that we can like open up as quickly and as safely as possible.
Yes, of course. I have a bit the same. I've been had 2 competitions, one at Kortrijk and one at Yper, but it's like the same. They're like, yeah, they still continue, but we don't know when. And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
okay, but yeah, what to
the
expect
Yper
now?
prize, because Sandra and I are
Also
and they
there.
send a mail like we've postponed the selection thing and stuff.
Mhm.
Ah, okay. So yeah, it's all like one big question mark. I mean, I'm afraid it's gonna be all at once, you know.
Oh no, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be like that, you know. I'm gonna start with my new job, and then it's gonna be this, and
Okay,
it's gonna be
we'll
too
do the
much.
exhibition in October 2021.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not gonna continue. That's also possible. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm very curious. Yeah.
Well, we have all these like artworks sitting at the studio.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring it to you guys.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Just the Sunday before the lockdown, I was like, okay, no, it's not gonna happen.
Didn't work out. No, it was like
Oh.
Yeah.
there were quite a few artists that were still going to show up and bring off their work like that weekend. Like I think you were one of them, and then we had 3 more lined up that day to come see the space and drop off their work, and it was like, okay, everything's canceled.
Yeah.
Postponed. I keep saying canceled, but
Yeah.
it's postponed. Okay, then maybe to close off, we always ask our guests 3 questions.
Okay.
And the first one is, how would you describe your studio right now in one sentence?
Oh yeah, write it down.
Ooh, prepared.
Yeah, I've been, yeah. My little space of freedom. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe that's a bit romantic.
Yeah, that's romantic, but I like it.
Accept the romantic like vibes and keep working with them.
The only reason is because I can finally be messy again. That's the reason why. You know,
Well,
you can be like, oh, paint everywhere. Yeah, that's nice.
Sandra's boyfriend took over part of our studio right now, and it's like he's practically living there. Let's be honest, Sandra.
Yeah.
He made like a little house thing, and it's a bit weird, but like it very much feels like a studio right now somehow.
That's true. Okay, maybe the second one, we are always asking people who we are talking with, can you recommend a good documentary or a book for our listeners?
I've been reading. It's not an art book or something, but it's Intimidate from Paul Verhagen. It's about how we perceive the others and how the others create us. It's also about consumerism. It's about how we become how we are. It's about identity. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm writing about that book in my thesis.
Oh, really? Oh, I really like it. Before that, I've been reading about Dick de Wachter, I think is his name. And the latest book, How to Be Unhappy, I have it here somewhere. Wait.
Yeah.
A book, How to Be Unhappy. I don't think I need a book for that. I think I do it naturally.
Yeah. This is why is that calling Karl 8.
This one.
Oh, I have that book. Yeah, I have that book.
The Art of Being Unhappy. Yeah.
Yeah, I started to read that, but I'm just in 20 pages, I think. It's a
but it's
one.
very easy to read. This one. It's very easy, because the other one, Intimidate, is quite difficult to read actually. And before Borderline of him is also quite interesting to read. Yeah. So I like that to read. What?
You're quite a book reader.
Not really.
I've noticed that I stopped like reading books lately. Like since the start of 2020, I haven't read one book, which I find weird because normally I'm reading all the time. I don't have a book right now.
But I read a lot of nonfiction. I mean, Alice is like the latest fiction book I've read. I mean,
well, I want to read. It's this book like 100 Artists Manifest. Wait, where is it? Yeah, 100 Artist Manifestos from the Futurists to the Spookists. But I like read all my books on my phone, and I got this free fragment of the book, and now I have to buy it. But my credit card is has expired, so I can't buy it right now. So I still need to steal my dad's credit card so I can buy my book.
Okay, this must be interesting. I mean, 100 or 1,000?
100. And it starts with the Futurists Manifesto from Marinetti, and then it goes all the way to there's also Barnett Newman in there, Rothko is in there, I think, and it goes down the list to like the end of manifestos.
Oh my God, cool. I'm gonna buy that book.
Yeah. Must be interesting to write a manifesto. I mean, how do you start with that? I mean,
you write artist statements these days. It's fine.
It's
and that's already hard enough. I don't need, because I think like manifestos are like, well, first of all, I'm not like a big fan of isms like in today's art, like futurism and cubism. I don't think there should be any more Kunststromingen, because.
But I don't think there are anymore. No.
Well,
or do you think there are? Yeah.
Well, people try to make them, but I think it's like empty titles.
Yeah,
But
because
like
everybody is working like individually. It's not really that. I don't know. I don't know if we're have an ism, like you say. Yeah.
No, but there was a guy I dated for a little bit that was like, oh yeah, but there should be like more cooperation between artists and like again have these kunststromingen, art movements, because now it's one big mess and blah blah blah. And like no, because like art movements are a lot about like ideology and this very narrow point of view that excludes everything else. And so I think it's more limiting than broadening in that sense. He disagreed with me, but that was fine. But like now we already write artist statements that are hard enough for us to figure out what we're doing without having to like sell an ideology.
Yeah, true.
But it's still fascinating to read. Like the futurists are crazy. They're like crash a car, kill a person, burn down the libraries. It's like really fun.
It's really that.
Yeah, they were so extreme, like
so punk. They're so punk. I didn't know they were that hard.
Yeah, they wanted to burn down the libraries. They wanted to like kill everything like old from art. Like everything that was 10 years old was like considered over and done and should be destroyed. And they wanted war, so Italy could be completely destroyed.
It's a bit like in Dutch, there's the beeldenstorm.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you tear down the churches and.
Yeah. But then like tear down contemporary art museums and stuff, or like modern art museums.
Oh wow.
They were like, Manet, alt news, need something new.
Whoa, heavy.
Yeah, no, they were quite fun and quite borderline. Like they also they were like fascists. And
because in a way,
fascism was there to get rid of the old. And then they also they were a big fan of World War I, because they were like, oh, opportunity to destroy everything and start from zero. And then a lot of guys or a lot of artists went to the battlefront and got killed there. And then there was this one guy, a futurist artist, who ironically died during the war, but he was sitting on a horse and it shied because a car came by. So he was destroyed by like technology that they were so revering while sitting on a horse, which was like old. Irony.
That's really irony, yes. But it's a nice story. It's a nice story.
So maybe you have some tips for starting artists.
I would say stay true to yourself. Like I said, in my third year and my second year in painting, I was like too much influenced by other painters, and like in art school some teachers like preference certain types of paintings, so you start to paint like that, and that's why Plymouth was a good idea to go to, because I could finally be like my true self in a way or something, or just reconnect with myself again. So I think that's my tip. Stay true to yourself.
It was great talking to you. Thank you for being
really
on our
nice.
show.
No, thank you for inviting me. Yeah. And for giving me this opportunity to talk to you guys. I really liked it.
And we're so happy that you're happy. We also never had like someone use all 3 meetings for the podcast, so it's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, maybe you have to cut a bit.
Yeah, that's Sandra's job. I don't.
Yeah, that's my job.
How's your thesis going?
It's great. I had actually a lot of good comments from Ghent, from my teacher who is helping me. So actually she's happy with the results. She sent me the feedback yesterday, so it was good. I'm happy.
So what is it about? Because you said you read the book I was reading.
Yeah,
is it about identity and?
Yeah. So I'm writing about how many how many time do teachers giving for learning how to be a person. So how much time they are talking about identity, and I'm like talking about ASO. It's like I don't know how to explain that. It's like just science. Yeah, just like
Science
biology.
and
Science and languages.
Yeah, and about art. So art schools, like KASK. So I'm talking about that, and I'm looking where do you learn more about your identity, where do you learn to know yourself better, and how is that helping in the future. So that book about identity from Paul Verhagen is one of most important thing in my thesis.
Did you know, at my secondary school, I did KASO, but you had a uniform. You were only allowed to wear blue. So that was like, I always try to be the rebel. And so you have a guidelines, what you could wear, what you not could wear. And in the guidelines, there was nothing about panties. So I wore orange panties underneath my blue skirts, or green panties underneath my blue skirts, just to make sure, like, I'm in the art department, bitches. So yeah.
I'm
That was me.
And you can tell by my leggings.
I wanted to be punk and arty-farty shit,
All right, cool.
But I'm past that, so.
Now it's all blue.
No, it is. It came back to me.
They put it in there.
Yeah, forever.
All right.
But that's interesting.
So thank you for being on the show once again.
Yeah, once again.
We're sure we'll meet soon. I hope you'll survive the rest of the quarantine very well. Protect yourself when you're working at the store.
I will. I think I have to.
Yeah. When we get back to the children, it will also be like full on protection and stuff. But we'll all be fine, won't we?
I hope so.
Okay. So thank you, and see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Okay.
And thank you to all our listeners. We'll be back next week, hopefully, with another artist on our show. So enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
Enjoy anything. Bye.
Bye.